There is nothing wrong with wanting a woman. There is nothing wrong with wanting love, intimacy, companionship, or a relationship that makes your life better. But there is a dangerous difference between wanting a woman and needing a woman to give your life meaning. And many men don't notice when that line begins to disappear. When a man has no clear purpose, no mission, no meaningful work, and nothing that genuinely excites him, something predictable can happen. His attention starts looking somewhere else to go, and very often it goes towards women. A woman becomes the most exciting part of his day. Her message can change his mood. Her attention can make him feel valuable. Her distance can make him anxious. And suddenly, instead of simply dating her, he starts organizing his emotional world around her. He tells himself that he just really likes her. But sometimes something deeper is happening. He isn't only attracted to the woman, he is attracted to what she makes his empty life feel like. That distinction matters, because when your own life gives you purpose, a woman can become a beautiful addition to it. But when your life lacks direction, that same woman can slowly become your direction. And that's when attraction can turn into dependence, and attention can turn into obsession. As Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. The point isn't that a woman should never influence your emotions. Of course she will. Attraction, love, and intimacy are deeply emotional experiences. The Stoic lesson is about something deeper. What occupies your mind repeatedly will eventually influence the way you experience your entire life. If your thoughts revolve around whether she replied, whether she still wants you, whether she'll choose you, and what you need to do to keep her interested, then she isn't simply someone you're dating anymore. She has become the center of your mental world. And when one person occupies that much space, you have to ask yourself what happened to everything else. Your work, your health, your ambitions, your friendships, your craft, your purpose. So this isn't a video about avoiding women. It's about understanding why a man without purpose can focus too much on women, and what changes when he builds a life worth focusing on. Because the Stoic asks not, how do I stop wanting her? He asks a better question. What am I building that deserves my attention?
Chapter number 1. Purpose gives your attention somewhere to go. A man cannot simply stop thinking about women by force. If you remove one source of attention without replacing it with something meaningful, your mind will eventually return to the same place. That is why the solution isn't to become less interested in women, it's to become more interested in your own life. Seneca wrote, "If one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable." When you don't know where you're going, almost anything can become a distraction. A new woman can become your next destination. Her attention can feel like progress. Her affection can feel like achievement. And because you have no clearly defined direction of your own, her presence starts giving structure to your days. You wake up thinking about her. You check your phone hoping she has messaged. You begin arranging your schedule around her availability. Slowly, without consciously deciding to, your attention starts orbiting another person. The problem isn't that you care. The problem is that your attention has nowhere more important to go. Purpose changes that. When you're building something meaningful, your mind has an anchor. You have work that challenges you, a body you're strengthening, a skill you're mastering, or a mission you're pursuing. You can still enjoy her attention without depending on it. You can miss her without losing yourself. You can want her without making her responsible for your happiness. Purpose doesn't make a man cold. It makes him directed. And when your life has a destination, a relationship becomes part of the journey, not the destination itself.
Chapter number 2. When romance becomes your main source of excitement. A new woman can make an ordinary life suddenly feel extraordinary. A message from her can give you something to look forward to. A date can become the highlight of your week. The uncertainty of whether she likes you, the anticipation of seeing her, and the emotional tension between you can create a powerful sense of excitement. There's nothing wrong with enjoying that. The danger begins when romance becomes the most interesting thing happening in your life. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." That doesn't mean you should control every emotion or pretend you don't care about a woman. It means you should notice when something outside yourself begins controlling your inner state. If her text makes your entire day better and her silence ruins it, she has gained control over something that should belong to you. If you're constantly checking her social media, replaying conversations, wondering what she meant, or waiting for the next message, ask yourself an uncomfortable question. What else is happening in my life right now? If the honest answer is not much, then the attraction may be filling a vacuum. This is why a man without purpose can become intensely focused on women. It's not necessarily because he has discovered some extraordinary woman. Sometimes he has simply discovered the most stimulating thing available to him. And the more empty his ordinary life feels, the more powerful that stimulation becomes. Purpose creates competition for your attention. Your work gives you something to solve. Training gives you something to improve. A craft gives you something to master. A mission gives you somewhere to go. Then romance can remain exciting without becoming addictive. You don't need to stop enjoying her. You need to build a life that gives you something else worth enjoying.
Chapter number 3. When wanting her becomes needing her. There's a subtle moment when attraction changes. At first, you simply want to be with her. You enjoy her company, you're curious about her, and you hope the relationship develops. But gradually, something can shift. You stop asking, "Do I want this woman in my life?" and start asking, "Does this woman still want me in hers?" That shift is important because your emotional stability has now begun to depend on her response. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Her feelings are outside your control. Whether she replies quickly, loses interest, wants a relationship, or decides to walk away, you cannot command any of it. But when a man lacks purpose, he may try to control what cannot be controlled. He checks his phone repeatedly. He analyzes the tone of her messages. He looks for signs that she's pulling away. He needs reassurance. And when reassurance disappears, anxiety takes its place. This is where focusing on a woman becomes something deeper than attraction. She has become a source of emotional validation. The problem isn't loving someone deeply. The problem is making another person responsible for your sense of worth. A grounded man can genuinely want a woman and still accept uncertainty. He can care without constantly checking. He can pursue a relationship without abandoning his own life. And if she walks away, it hurts because he's human, but his entire identity doesn't disappear with her. Purpose creates that foundation. When your life contains meaningful work, relationships, discipline, and goals, one person's attention becomes important without becoming everything. You can say, "I want you," without secretly meaning, "I need you to be okay." That is the difference between desire and dependence.
Chapter number 4. The fantasy that she will fix your life. One of the most dangerous ideas a man can carry into dating is the belief that the right woman will finally make his life feel complete. Maybe you've thought it before. If I could just meet someone who really understands me, everything would change. Suddenly, work would feel easier. Life would feel more exciting. You would wake up with a reason to look forward to tomorrow. But a relationship cannot permanently solve a problem that existed before the relationship. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Sometimes the fantasy of a woman is more powerful than the woman herself. You imagine the future before you've even built the present. You picture the trips, the intimacy, the perfect mornings together, the life you believe she will help you create. And because your current life feels empty, that imagined future becomes incredibly attractive. But eventually, reality arrives. She has bad days, you have bad days. There are disagreements, responsibilities, different priorities, stress, and problems that no amount of attraction can eliminate. And if you expected her to rescue you from dissatisfaction, you may eventually become disappointed with the very person you once believed would save you. This is why a woman should complement your life, not become the foundation of it. If your career is going nowhere, a relationship won't automatically give you ambition. If you have no discipline, love won't permanently create it. If you don't respect yourself, another person's affection cannot do that work for you. And if you don't know what you are building with your life, finding someone to share it with doesn't magically create a destination. Build the foundation first, then invite someone into the house. Love can add meaning to your life, but it should never be forced to carry the entire weight of it. Chapter number 5. When the relationship ends, the void remains. A breakup hurts. There is no Stoic principle that requires you to pretend otherwise. You can lose someone you genuinely loved and feel grief, loneliness, anger, and disappointment. That's human. But sometimes the pain after a breakup is much larger than the loss of the relationship itself. Because you're not only losing her, you're losing the life you built around her. Epictetus said, "It is not things that disturb us, but our judgments about things." Consider what happens when a woman has become the center of your world. Your routines revolve around her. Your weekends revolve around her. Your plans revolve around her. Your emotional highs and lows revolve around her. Your future is built around the assumption that she will be there. Then she leaves. Suddenly, the calendar is empty. The phone is quiet. The future you imagined disappears. And you may believe you're devastated simply because you lost the perfect woman. But sometimes you're also grieving the disappearance of the only thing that made your life feel exciting. That's why some men cannot let go. They repeatedly contact their ex. They monitor her social media. They replay old conversations.
They beg for another chance. Not necessarily because the relationship was truly right for them, but because they don't know what comes next. A meaningful life changes that equation. You will still grieve. You will still miss her. You may still wish things had worked out. But there are other things waiting for your attention. Your work, your health, your friends, your ambitions, your craft, your future. The Stoic doesn't try to become a man who never experiences loss. He becomes a man who understands that one loss does not have to destroy the entire structure of his life. If your whole world disappears when one person walks away, the deeper question isn't only why did she leave? It's also what else had I stopped building while she was here? Chapter number 6. Build a life that competes for your attention. Telling a man stop focusing on women is easy. But if you don't give him something meaningful to focus on, what exactly is he supposed to do with all that attention? You don't solve an empty life by simply removing the distraction. You solve it by building something worth being distracted by. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Purpose is not something you have to discover perfectly before you begin. Sometimes you build it through action. Start with your body. Train consistently, get stronger, improve your health, learn to keep promises you make to yourself. Then develop your craft. Become better at something that matters to you, your profession, your business, writing, building, creating. Whatever demands your effort and rewards your improvement. Then build your world. Maintain friendships. Spend time with people who challenge you. Develop interests that have nothing to do with dating. Go somewhere new. Learn something difficult. And finally, ask yourself what kind of man you want to become. Not what kind of woman you want to attract, not what kind of lifestyle will impress people. What kind of man would you respect if you met him? Then start becoming him. Purpose often grows from commitment. You become good at something, and competence creates confidence. You make progress, and progress creates motivation. You take responsibility, and responsibility creates meaning. You don't need to wake up tomorrow with some grand mission that changes the world. You need something worth doing today. Because when your life contains challenges that genuinely demand your attention, a woman no longer has to carry the entire burden of making you feel alive. You can appreciate her without depending on her. You can pursue love without chasing validation. And you can build a relationship because you want to share your life, not because you need someone to give you one. Chapter number 7. Date without abandoning yourself. Purpose does not mean becoming cold, distant, or emotionally unavailable. It doesn't mean pretending you don't care about a woman just to appear masculine. And it certainly doesn't mean putting your ambition above every human relationship. The point is balance. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." When you know who you are and what you're building, dating becomes much healthier. You can make time for a woman without abandoning everything else. You can be excited about seeing her without canceling your entire schedule. You can enjoy a relationship without giving up your training, your work, your friendships, or the things that made your life meaningful before she arrived. This matters because a relationship should fit into your life, not require you to erase the life you already built. Think about the difference. A dependent man thinks, if she wants me, I'll rearrange everything. A grounded man thinks, I want to be with her, so I'll make space for her while continuing to live according to what matters to me.
That's not selfishness, that's stability. And it also changes the emotional dynamic of dating. You don't need to constantly prove your value. You don't need to be available every second. You don't need to make her responsible for your mood. You can pursue her while still pursuing your own life. And if the relationship eventually becomes serious, your purpose doesn't disappear. It evolves. Now you're not simply building a life for yourself, you're potentially building something meaningful with another person. That's the difference between adding someone to your life and building your entire life around someone. A healthy relationship should give you more to care about, not less of yourself to be. Because the goal isn't to become a man who doesn't need anyone. The goal is to become a man who can love someone deeply without abandoning himself in the process. Final thought. Build a life you don't need to escape from. The goal was never to stop wanting women. It was never to become so detached that love no longer matters. The real goal is to build a life where love is something you share, not something you desperately need in order to feel alive. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe." When your relationship with yourself is weak, you naturally look outside yourself for something to make you feel complete. A woman's attention can become validation, her affection can become your confidence, her presence can become your purpose. And when she leaves, it can feel as though everything has been taken away. But when you've built something within yourself, discipline, meaningful work, strong relationships, and a direction you genuinely believe in, you approach love differently. You can appreciate a woman without worshiping her. You can desire her without depending on her. You can love her deeply without abandoning yourself. And if the relationship ends, you'll grieve because you lost someone important, but you won't lose the entire meaning of your life with her. That's what purpose changes. A woman can make your life more beautiful. She can challenge you, inspire you, support you, and give you experiences you could never have alone, but she cannot carry the responsibility of giving your life meaning. That responsibility belongs to you. So here's the question I want you to think about. If there were no woman in your life right now, what would still make you excited to wake up tomorrow? That's worth answering honestly. Because whatever your answer is, or whatever's missing from your answer, may tell you where your attention needs to go next. Build that life. Then, when love comes, you won't be asking someone to complete you, you'll be inviting someone to share what you've already built. If this perspective resonates with you, subscribe to Stoic Wisdom today for more practical Stoic principles on purpose, relationships, masculinity, and self-mastery. And remember, build your life first. Let love become part of it, not the reason it exists. Until next time, stay calm, stay grounded, and keep walking the Stoic path.